Okay, I got a good one for y'all this week. I'm gonna get into the releases too. There's just not a ton of releases this week, but I definitely want to show you guys these because I have been waiting to get my hands on this shoe. So what up, guys? Jacques Slade here, and this is the Nike Sabrina 3. This is the blueprint colorway. It was just released. The good folks over at Nike sent these over to me, so I want to give you guys a quick look at them before we jump into the best releases that are coming this week. So see here on the box, it has the S logo there. That looks a lot like the Slam logo to me. I don't know if to you, but that looks like the Slam logo. Has her name there, has Nike there, has the S there, and then it has the size there. So this is an 11.5. I tried these on earlier, and I'm usually between 11 and 11.5, and 11.5 definitely works here. But let's hop into the shoes. Here you go, and look at that. Just an absolutely beautiful looking shoe. Tissue paper is actually pretty cool as well. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it has like a bunch of basketball courts. It's almost like an engineering drawing with the basketball courts. Very, very cool. So let's talk about these. So they're $135 for adult sizes, and they're $100 for kids. You have the S logo there. You have Sabrina's I logo there. Now, for breathability wise, this is all engineered mesh or like a mesh here. So you have the breathability all over. Something really unique is that this embroidery that you see here is Romanian inspired, which goes to Sabrina's roots. Very, very cool. Outsole. Now you can't really see it, but it's a bunch of S's here, especially at the toe box. Try to get that closer, see if you guys can see. There's a bunch of S's there. Traction on these is really great just from the limited time that I had them on here in the studio and just kind of walking around. You can feel it. Tech-wise, so you have a Phylon carrier back here, but there's Cushlon on the inside, which is going to feel really great. Cushlon 3.0 actually, which actually feels really great. So if you're into the Cushlon feel, this is definitely something you should have on your radar. They have this textured Nike swoosh, which looks really, really, really nice. Now, I skipped this, but going back to the outsole. This outsole is just, again, my first reaction. I haven't actually played in these yet, but this outsole is soft. I want to say soft. It is very malleable. There you go. It's not hard. So I don't think these are going to hold up if you play with these outside. I think these are going to basically this bottom is going to tear up pretty quickly. So if you wanted to play outside, I don't know that this is the shoe with which you want to do that. Just my opinion. I haven't played with them outside, but just from feeling them, this feels very soft and it's moving so much. I just can't imagine that this is going to hold up playing on some concrete or playing on some asphalt. Anyway, you have some nice cushioning here around the ankle, so that'll keep you nice and cushioned there, especially around the Achilles. Have a very nice feeling heel cup here. Again, these are all first reactions. I haven't actually tried these on, but this heel cup feels pretty solid. Taking a look on the inside, they do give you an insole, but nothing special happening here. I would recommend putting in your own insoles. I personally use the Move insoles. Part of that is I'm an investor for them as well, so take that with a grain of salt, but I recommend them and I invested in them because obviously it was something that I believed in, and I can't get this out of here. There you go. So yeah, nothing special about this insole. Just like the basic stuff, but you do get the Sabrina logo there. So if that means something to you, get the Sabrina logo on there. Overall, it's a good looking shoe. I was talking to somebody about these earlier, and I said, I feel like the Sabrina line is like the heir apparent to the Kobe line, which is a very, very good thing. Obviously, we don't have Kobe to create the Kobe line anymore, but these feel like they're that transition shoe for those that love Kobe's. Not a ton of differences from the second version of the shoe, which means, you know, instead of changing the shoe or just trying to innovate for the sake of innovating, they're just evolving the shoe into something that is better and better with each year. Now, we'll see how they approach that with the Sabrina 4, but we don't have to worry about that until next year. But overall, good shoe. Again, breathable. They have these tunnels here. For those that remember Flywire, you have something very similar here with the laces, as you can see right there. They have these that help keep you locked down inside of the shoe. I personally like the way that these look, and I think they're going to be one of the better shoes to play in in 2024. You know, they have like the GT Cut, the GT Jump, the Sabrina. I feel like these are the shoes that most players are going to wear, unless you want like a signature shoe from LeBron or KD or something like that, or Ja. I feel like the Sabrina line is the one that's kind of cooking. Between Sabrina and what they're doing with the A1 for Asia, the women are kind of winning right now when it comes to basketball shoes, and you absolutely love to see it. Again, logo back there, then you have her signature right there. If you check out over on my Instagram, I do a quick breakdown on these over at the Cousteau Instagram. So check that out to give you guys a better look. But anyway, let's get into the sneakers that are releasing this week, because there's some good stuff that's dropping that I think you guys are really going to be into. So first up, fans of Demon Slayer and Crocs, you guys can rejoice as a reissue of the 2023 collab is set to return in anticipation for the upcoming movie, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, that's set to drop in September. While I haven't watched this particular anime, I recognize that it is a pretty big deal, and this will be my inspiration to check it out. So you have the Demon Slayer Crocs Classic Clog Tanjiro. This is going to be on the 11th for $80. You have the Demon Slayer Crocs Classic Clog and the Nezuko. That's going to be $80. You have the Inosuke, which is going to be on the 11th for $80. You have the Zenitsu. I hope I'm saying this right. I'm probably destroying these names. Again, I haven't seen this anime. Those are $80. And then you have the Shinobu. That's going to be on the 11th for $80 as well. All right, switching channels to New Balance. They have the 204L. This is the Timberwolf, not Timberland, but Timberwolf. This is going to be on August 13th for $110. You have the Jordan Luka 4 in white cement. This is going to be on August 14th for $145. Skepta and his Puma Scope Forever. So this is dropping on the 14th for $160. It's been a minute since we've talked about Puma's collaborative effort with one of the bigger names in British grime rap. I mean, people have been talking about Skepta because of the whole Drake thing, but let's be honest, we don't care about that really on this show. You know what I'm just saying? Anyway, maybe on our variety show Hard Pass, but not here. We talk about it on Hard Pass, not here. Unlike the debut pairs that went for an iridescent shine, this one is an all business, mostly all black, with a pair of tabs on the forefoot in Puma green and red to add that bare minimum of contrast. Next up, we have the Nike Ja 3 Max Volume. This is going to be on the 15th for $130. So after his first two signature shoes felt like more of the same when it comes to Nike basketball, Ja Morant's third attempt decides to throw away a grenade to everything that came before and try something totally different. Kind of basically the opposite of this. And you know what? I think they kind of nailed it with this one. The sneaker with its all-over scratch marks that doubles as ventilation for the upper somehow manages to blend with the swoosh to subtly spell out Ja's name. It's pretty cool. It's a brilliant bit of design that makes it stand out from not only Nike's other offerings, but just about everything else on the market right now, and that's a good thing. Pharrell Williams has the Adidas Adistar Jellyfish on August 15th for $300. Can someone tell Pharrell that the chunky shoe trend is over? Or, because I'm not saying anything to him, but Balenciaga Triple S is the shoe that started all of this, and it's what inspired this sneaker. And from the one company that Balenciaga draws inspiration from, allegedly, to make the Triple S, and it all looks better and it's priced considerably lower than a Triple S. There's a lot to love here, and I'm hoping I can actually get a pair of these here soon to unbox here on the channel, because I actually do really want a pair of these. Next up, we have the Adidas Comical Lace. This is the Glory Gray. This is going to be on August 15th for $160. Switching over to Puma. Puma La France R&R in white. This is on August 15th for $120. So here's the funny thing about this latest La France sneaker from the minds of LaMelo Ball and Puma. The copy is all about, this is the most ambitious and outrageous design LaMelo sneaker. And I'm like, really? Maybe when they can decide to drop these in a more outlandish colorway, but right now, this is a mostly street-friendly, casual-ready sneaker in the entire Melo line, and I'm even including the big baller brands. Shout out to the big homie LeVar. Moving on, Yohei Yamamoto's latest Y3 project with Adidas. It takes us to tennis, a sport that I know absolutely nothing about. But honestly, it doesn't get a lot of attention online unless it's an old-school Stan Smith. Using the more modern silhouettes like the Barricade and the Obersonic is a nice change of pace, but the Y3 staples are there, including Yohei's signature and the familiar branding. So you have the Ubersonic on the 15th for $200. You have the Barricade. There's two Barricades. One is in yellow and black, and one is white and black, and both of those are on the 15th for $220. And I never really realized how expensive tennis sneakers are. Wow. On the Jordan side of things, we have the Air Jordan 12 French Blue. This is going to be on the 16th for $200. So it's one of the most popular colorways of the Air Jordan 12, and it's returning in French Blue or blue whatever. People, you get the idea. Even though these were worn by Jordan Brand mainstays like Carmelo Anthony and Richard Hamilton during the 2003-2004 NBA season, the player most associated with the sneaker wasn't even signed to the brand. As part of his iconic sneaker free agency, the late Kobe Bryant paired up the French Blues with the throwback uniforms. It was mwah. Despite initial reports of this release getting a handful of aesthetic changes, official images confirm that these will be the true retro of the 2004 original. Next up, Nigel Sylvester. He has the Air Jordan 1 Low Better With Time. This is going to be on the 16th for 160. So Nigel Sylvester's Brick by Brick Air Jordan 4 collab has been among the top candidates for Sneaker of the Year ever since they dropped a few months ago. His follow-up has the potential to do the same. A low-cut version of a high-cut PE he's shown off in the past. This one will come with the worn-down elements that make them look like a pair that Nigel has worn while on his bike. It also includes the now familiar Bike Air branding, both on the sneaker and packaging. Plus, it has that vintage look. Really sold on these. As Oasis makes their way through the UK as part of their reunion tour, Adidas is set to release a collab with the Gallagher brothers, with each getting a different silhouette. Because, of course, they couldn't just work on one sneaker and drop 2 different colorways, that's about the most Oasis sneaker collab that I could imagine. So Noel Gallagher has the Adidas Marathon Special. This is going to be in Night Navy on the 16th for 150, where Liam Gallagher has the Adidas Akil Special in Stone Khaki on August 16th. $450. Finally, we have the Adidas DON, the Dawn issue number 7, and this is dropping in the Lime Burst colorway, and this is going to be on August 16th for $120. Okay, yeah, that's it. I told you, not a lot of things dropping this week, but some good stuff dropping this week. And again, if you don't have these, I'm going to give these a little bit of a wear test, but I really do feel like this is going to be one of the premier basketball sneakers for 2025 going into 2026, unless somebody can show me something different. The Phylon Carrier, the Cushlon 3.0, the Zoom in the forefoot, the S-inspired, like, herringbone traction, the tunnels, aka Flywire, that keep you locked in. It's just a really good sneaker put together really well, and it gives me Kobe vibes, which, you know, are hard to beat at this point, at least for someone of my generation. Anyway, as always, I appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, favorite, subscribe, and all of that good stuff, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.